Before we check in with Tevin and Sydney, let's take another live look at the roads and Weather Warrior, the vehicle traveling in Worcester on the pike right now. And it doesn't look like much is going on, but when can we expect things to turn around? Because we're expecting like maybe even a foot of snow in that area, right?
Yeah, Darren, we're expecting about 8 to 12 inches of snowfall for portions of central Massachusetts. When it happens, you will know it. It's happening overnight tonight, and I think that's where we're going to get the lion's share, if you will, of the snow accumulations across central Massachusetts and north central Worcester County. We still have about 3 or 4 hours until the early onset of some of the heaviest snow anticipated just before midnight tonight. Already a couple of flurries, though, across portions of the North Shore and Essex County, where we did have reports, by the way, of slide outs across Route 1. Remember, that's not even the worst of the storm. That is still sitting out towards our south and west across portions of New York State, far western Massachusetts, and even in Southbury, Connecticut. Right now, some of the first flakes are all starting to mix on down. So that slowly will push its way into the region in the next couple of hours. In terms of accumulation, it's going to be very difficult to get accumulation with temperatures at 36 in Boston right now, 31 in Plymouth, 31 in Barnstable at this moment. But once we get into the late evening hours and early tomorrow, some of us will actually be pushing 40 degrees. That said, though, in total, looking at some of the snowfall amounts and forecast amounts, Gardner, Worcester, Leominster, Manchester, almost 8 to 12 inches in accumulation. Near Natick and Framingham, on the order of 5 to 8 inches of snowfall there. And then closer towards the city of Boston, between 1 and 3. 3 to 5, a very real possibility across far western Norfolk County, throughout Dedham, and even portions of Foxborough, too. And then across the south coast, the Cape and the islands, right around an inch or so of snowfall. To go region by region and show us a little bit more of what we're expecting and why is First Alert meteorologist Sydney Welch. Hey, Sid.
Yeah, so as we go through mainly the day tomorrow for locations along the coast, but the rest of this evening for this bullseye right here that's going to see those highest totals, 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That's when the heaviest snow is going to be coming down, mainly just after midnight to around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Wind gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour. That's for areas like Worcester, Manchester, really right in this bullseye right here, Fitchburg. That's where the heaviest snow is going to be and the most snow. So the snow rate is going to be the highest as well. Just after midnight, almost an inch per hour coming down around 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then it does lighten up a bit, but still pretty easily coming down by 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Road conditions are not going to be all that great. You definitely want to be prepared for those slippery spots. Now going closer to Boston, North Shore, South Shore, Metro West, Saturday 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Sunday. It's going to be more of a mix in the beginning, but then it's going to be areas inland that see the snow. Once we get those temperatures a bit on the cooler side, once the winds shift into tomorrow, that's going to be when accumulation does pick up by tomorrow late morning into the early afternoon. So looking at this 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, areas in Boston could start seeing about a half an inch of snow per hour. Then it does drop off once we go around 4, 5, 6 o'clock for tomorrow afternoon and into the evening. Now we're looking closer to the Cape Island, South Coast. 11 o'clock tonight until 6 o'clock tomorrow does begin as rain. Those flurries still coming down, but that's going to mainly be to finish things off when we start to see a few flurries. And it's going to be minimal as far as accumulation goes, but wind gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour. Looking at that snow rate, much more light than what we were seeing for the other locations, but we're going to see about a quarter of an inch of snow per hour possible by tomorrow late afternoon into the early evening. Now Tevin's going to take a look at why it's going to be much lower as far as snow accumulation in areas along the Cape versus what we're seeing inland. Tevin?
Yes, and the answer really lies in the temperatures. I mean, in the next couple of hours, again, temperatures still forecasted to be well above freezing from Taunton to New Bedford, on Martha's Vineyard, and on the Cape, too. Near 40 degrees tonight at about 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Into tomorrow morning, that's still the case. It's not until midday tomorrow. Sydney just showed us those really impressive snowfall rates in Boston at midday. That's when we start to get the accumulation as that cold air rushes down. Look at this, 23 in Concord, 25 in Bedford, and it really just sweeps on through. This is when the flash freeze starts to ensue. So if you have not at that point already started to plow the snow, shovel the snow, it will refreeze on the ground in time for Monday morning. So I think the Monday morning commute will certainly be plagued with slick spots if we do not remember to shovel if we can, and also pre-treat too. Winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories practically for everyone, with the exception of the Cape and the islands there. And a quick look at the 10-day forecast just to show you this isn't the only storm on the docket. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're doing it all over again with milder air, plenty of rainfall, and also windy conditions too. Darren?
All right. Thank you, Tevin, for tracking all of that for us. And a lot of people are using portable generators during this winter storm, but as you may know, they can be very dangerous. So make sure to keep the generator outdoors, away from windows, doors, or vents, so you don't get carbon monoxide poisoning. Keep the generator on a level surface away from debris or dirt, and do not connect it directly to your home's wiring or into a household outlet.